Hey, come here, check this out. Today what I want to show you is something that I'm actually working on myself, and that is alternate picking, but building speed with alternate picking. And there's a technique that I want to show you that I believe will help us both improve our alternate picking speed. So the technique that I want to show you is the way that you move your wrist on your right hand. I want to show you that there is a right way to do this and there's a wrong way to do this, and if you start practicing the right way, then your speed's going to increase. So I'm going to show you the wrong way first, and I want you to think about what I'm doing here that's wrong. And I'm going to play the A minor pentatonic box. We're going to look at pentatonic 2-note per string shapes, and then we're going to look at diatonic 3-note per string shapes. The picking changes a little bit, but I want you to understand that the technique can be applied up and down to both 2-note and 3-note per string shapes. Probably even applied to 4-note per string shapes, but I'm not going to mess with that right now. Let's go and look at 2-note first. So your A minor pentatonic box is going to be 5, 8, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 8, 5, 8. And we're just playing down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. So that's all we're doing there. So what we're going to do with low distortion is I want you to see the wrong way to do it, and I want you to think about that, and then ask yourself, are you applying it that way to your playing? And then we're going to look at the right way to do it and see if we can make sure that we are doing it the right way every time. So this will be the wrong way to do it. One more time. So pause the video for a second, just reflect on that and think, what am I doing wrong? Or what am I doing that I think is a bad technique or a bad habit that I want to try to break? Now let's look at the right way to do it and see if we can figure out what I'm doing differently and why this is better. Now, I'm not saying my technique is the greatest. Okay, there's still some things I need to work on. But what did you notice different? In the first example, what I'm doing is I'm moving my wrist in more of a circular fashion. I'm exaggerating it to kind of show you what I'm doing. I'm obviously not doing this, but this is kind of what I'm doing. So I'm leaving my wrist stationary, and then I'm moving my wrist. See how it goes like this? In the second example, which I think is a better technique, I'm actually moving my whole arm down and up, down and up. So I'm keeping my wrist kind of stationary. And I'm moving my arm down and then back up, down and back up. And what that allows me to do is allows me to keep the pick angle on each string the same. And it allows me to keep my movement a lot more fluid, going down and up the strings. So again, we're moving down and then back up, and that takes a minute to get used to. I noticed that a lot of really fast, either whether they're alternate pickers or they're economy pickers or they're hybrid pickers, they tend to keep their hand like this. And they move down and up like this as they pick. Okay, a good channel to watch is Troy Grady's channel, where he analyzes how really fast pickers pick. And I noticed that that is happening a lot. Okay, now I could be wrong. Let me know in the comments if you think I'm wrong about this. But this is what I've been seeing. And for hybrid pickers, I've noticed that they're keeping their hands like this, the faster ones, the better ones. They're keeping their hands like this, even when they're playing the upper strings with their pinky, their ring fingers, and their middle fingers. Okay, they're kind of moving them out like this. So they're not like this. Not that there aren't great players who don't play like this, but a lot of the good ones play like this, and they kind of keep everything in here, and they don't fan out, even though there are plenty who do. And something that I think, this is my own personal hypothesis, you see Marty Friedman playing like this, okay? There's a couple other players that play like this as well. And I noticed that I think the reason he plays like this, why it's comfortable for him to play like this, is because it allows him to keep his hand where he wants it to be while he moves his forearm back and forth. I could be completely wrong about that, but that's just my own little hypothesis. So That's what I've been working on lately. And we look at this with 2-note per string shapes, and you notice that I can get my speed up a little bit better than if I play like this. So if I play like this, it's kind of harder to maintain that pick angle that I want to maintain, and it's more fluid in the sense that it allows me to kind of play, breezier and more open. And if I was playing like that, it'd be fine, right? But to get that speed up, I can already feel that the pick angle is changing. And it's harder for me to jump from one string to the next string. But if I go ahead and incrementally move up the strings and down the strings, and again, this is just something you got to practice with a metronome and take your time with it. It's a little bit easier to go from one string to the next. And for me, I feel like there's been a lot of progress there, like going up and then back. It's getting easier to do, playing those 2 notes per string. And it's the same with 3 notes per string. And if we look at the A minor scale of 3 note per string, we're going to play 5, 7, 8, 5, 7, 8, 5, 7, 9, 5, 7, 9, 6, 8, 10, 7, 8, 10. So the picking on that is a little bit different. Instead of going down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up on each string, right? On the 6th string, we're going to play down, up, down. On the 5th string, we're going to play up, down, up. On the 4th string, we're going to play down, up, down. On the 3rd string, we're going to play up, down, up. On the 2nd string, we're going to play down, up, down. And on the 1st string, we're going to play up, down, up. And then down, up. And then on the 2nd string, we're going to play down, up, down. 3rd string, up, down, up. 4th string, down, up, down. 5th string, up, down, up. And then 6th string, down, up, down. And then back to up, down. Right, so the pattern's going to be a little bit different on each string. Now you can also do economy picking, and I'm not going to show you the whole shape with economy picking, but I'm just going to show you the idea of economy picking and the idea of the pattern. So on the 6th string, we'll play down, up, down. And since we just played a down, we'd go to the 5th string and we'd play down. See how we went from down to down? We just go ahead and sweep through. So down, down, up, down, and then sweep through again. Down, up, down, down, up, down, down. So I see how we sweep through, we go down, up, down, and then we just sweep through to the 5th string. So we just played it down, so we're going to go down again. And we're going to go down, 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 like that. It's kind of a sweep. So then we're going to go up, down, and sweep through to the 4th string. Down, up, down, sweep through to the 3rd string. Down, up, down, sweep through, down, up, down, sweep through, down, up, down. And then of course you would apply the same principle going backwards. Now, I have played around with this a lot, and I have not quite put it into my muscle memory. It's hard to do. It's easier for me to alternate pick. So you've got to find what works best for you. Alternate picking, economy picking, legato, because you can do legato on these things too. Whatever works best for you is the thing that you're going to gravitate back towards. Of course, if you think that you want to get better at a technique that you're not quite good at, then you keep playing with these things, right? So the alternate picking is what I'm going to kind of focus on. And again, we're doing the same thing. Instead of using the wrist to go in a circular fashion or in a sweeping fashion like this, where I'm going down like that, and then my pick angle is changing. I'm going to move my hand up and down like this. See that? See, I'm moving it slightly. Instead of doing that rotation, I'm keeping my wrist as straight as I can, and I'm just moving my arm back and forth like this. Again, not the cleanest in the world, but I'm getting there, and that's what I want to help you do as well. Another thing that I think helps me is a little visualization. So I'm visualizing my index finger moving from one string to the next string. And every time I hit that next string, in my brain, I'm visualizing I'm on this string. Then I'm visualizing I'm on the next string. Then I'm visualizing I'm on the next string. So I think about it like bop, 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 bop. And then when I go back, I'm thinking about the pinky hitting the next string. So bop, 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 like that. So in that visualization, I'm kind of seeing the music in chunks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So I'm not really counting a beat. I'm just visualizing when I'm jumping to the next string. So that visualization, and then of course, changing the way you move your forearm back and forth. And then of course, with the visualization, changing the way you land on each string because you're kind of visualizing it, you're seeing it. Again, all these things put it into your muscle memory, starts to make things tacit, and starts to get you to the point where when you play, you don't even think about it. So you think about it initially, you're really focusing on the rigor of it initially, but then it gets to the point where just like a football player or a skateboarder or a martial artist, you get to the point where you could just do it without thinking about it. And your body, or in this case your fingers, just respond. And I believe that's really important to understand because we a lot of times think about the product and not the process. And the process requires work to get to the point where you can do the things that you want to do intuitively and not have to think about them very much. As always, I thank you for checking out this lesson. I hope you enjoyed it. I got lessons on here every Sunday and Wednesday. In the comments, let me know what you thought about this lesson. I also asked you a couple times to let me know if you thought this technique was something that would work for you. If you are already applying it, if you saw something that you think might work a little bit better for you, and that's fine. Everyone has their own way of looking at it and their own way of thinking about it. One thing about a musical instrument is that we're going to find idiosyncrasies that work just for us that may not work for anybody else. So I wanted to share something that I believe is working for me and helping me be a faster player and ultimately a more smoother and better player in my mind, in my own opinion, right? So let me know in the comments if this is working for you or if there's something else that you have found that you like better. And then also in the comments, let me know what is your favorite live performance that you've ever seen. Now, I'm going to give you one that might surprise you. I have seen a lot of great guitarists out there. I'm a huge him fan. I like Lindy Lindstrom and I like how he plays, even though unfortunately him's not around anymore. But I would like to go see Daniel Lioneye eventually if they're still around. I hope they are because he also plays in that band and that's a really good band. I like their music. But recently I saw Samantha Fish in concert. And Samantha Fish is a blues player. And her music is not typically the type of music that I would like to listen to most of the time. But I have checked her out. I like her music and I listen to her in concert. And I have to say, she is an absolute dynamo when it comes to performance, playing live, songcraft, everything. She's just awesome. So if you ever get a chance to see Samantha Fish in concert, check her out. And I recently also saw Ghost. And I have to say that the guitarists, the Nameless Ghouls who play for Ghost, they do some really awesome virtuoso guitar techniques and really bring the show to life. Now, I know there's a bazillion other guitar players out there and I've only scratched the surface with a couple that I've seen, but let me know in the comments a really awesome live performance that you saw, and I might get some new recommendations for music that I haven't checked out before, and I'll check those out. Also, don't forget that I do have a free course out there. It's at justpickuptheguitarandgo.com. Sign up for that free course. 7 days to unlock the fretboard, help you play with confidence and ease. I break a lot of these things down for you where I show you where the scale shapes are and how to find the scale shapes all over the fretboard, how they interlock like puzzle pieces, and how you can use them in your improvisation and in your lead playing and in your songwriting to make everything sound more dynamic and just better overall, right? So be sure to check that out. Just pickuptheguitarandgo.com, and I'll see you in the next one.